Okay. We've been working on a beautiful series this month that I want to recap. Because I know everybody's participating and doing your work. Are you doing your work at home?
Yes.
Good. Okay. We started out the month by asking, is how I am living in the moment helping my forward motion? And that was our little question that we were kind of looking at all the time as we went through this month. And then we decided that we needed to change things. Change something. Remember? Just change something. So that what you're doing in that moment helps you go to where you want to be. We talked about not giving power to circumstances. Remember? We talked about how our affirmation is so important. What is real to me? God is real to me. If I can own that, if I can own God is real to me, all possibilities are open to me. Yes? Then we called it forth. We know that if we follow guidance, we can follow it with clarity. We decided that we could change things by action, by affirmation. Then last week we talked about creating a space for God, so the universe could flow. To get out of our little box of Noah, and get it into the flow of the universe, so that we could receive and participate. And we talked about creating a space for miracles. I want a miracle time in my life and a space for miracles in my life. How'd you guys do this past week creating a space for God? Did you constantly think about it and do something? Yes, good. That just opened you up. That's fabulous. And I know that what you felt was new and different in those moments. And then I know something greater came afterwards. Maybe not in that moment, but because you opened, then the greater comes. So this is what we're talking about today. I now receive. For the past 4 weeks, if you have been listening and even trying to try, you should have movement in your life right now. Things should be changing and there should be movement. You should have experiences of new ideas, new opportunities. They may be small, they may be great, but there should be movement. Is everybody experiencing movement?
Yes.
Okay, great. Do you see how just shifting any bit of energy shifts your world? So we should all be in this beautiful space of celebration and openness. All right. When we release things to create greater space brings greater opportunities. As we change what we can see, and we're asking for greater, then the universe shows us what greater changes we need to make to go where we need to go. Okay, that sounds really complicated. So, oftentimes we can see what we think we need to change, and we do need to change it. If you see it and you need to change it, you need to change it. But as you're saying, I want to go to this greater space, I have a greater goal, want to accomplish greater, and you're changing what you can see to change, the universe comes and says, oh, and by the way, you have to change this too. Something you totally didn't see, you didn't think about. It's your blind side. I'm blind to this. But the universe goes, hey, no, this has to change too. Has anybody had that experience yet? Okay, because you're going to. We don't know how to get to the greater goal, or we would have already gotten there. We live in our level, remember our pie chart? We live in our little level of discomfort, and we try to create space for greater talking to God, greater understanding, and change what we know to change. But there are so many bigger things that move within us, so the greater can come. And you don't know to do that. You do not know the greater good the universe has for you. If you did, you would have it. So, I think I'm losing you. Let me explain feng shui. Okay? So, I started studying feng shui in 96. I got my master's certification in 2005. So, this is how it works in Power Feng Shui. You ask your client to give you 3 goals that they'd like to accomplish in the next 9 months or so. Then you go into their house knowing nothing about them, home or business, knowing nothing about them, preferably knowing nothing about them. You assess where the energy is blocked in their house, not what's good, not what's cool, not what's happening, but where it's blocked. Then you come up with 3 goals, and your goals should mirror their goals because you can see what they're missing. And then you systematically do little changes, unblocking the energy. And as you unblock the energy, they experience energy flow. Oh, they get clearings, and then they get blessings because the energy has been blocked. Has anybody ever done feng shui? Oh, I see a hand in the back. And how was it? It's interesting, isn't it? It is. You're on the choppy seas for a while because you literally are moving energy that you could not see. You couldn't see it. You couldn't see it. You were living in it. Well, this is what happens when we put our goals up to the universe. We put our goals up to the universe, we create the space, we're meditating with God, we're asking God to show us, and we're changing stuff we know to do. And as you do that, you're opening energy, energy's coming to you, and then new changes are placed in front of you to take you to that greater goal. Now do you understand? Okay, so we're in the process of energy movement. We're moving energy in a gentle and easy way because we're doing it with God that's going to make us bigger and better than we have ever been. Anytime you have a transformation, you look back a year from now and you do not know the person you were a year ago. That's your transformation. And we have that, don't we? Where we're not that same person a year ago. We have moved into a new space. So, how do you do that? You start right where we are, and now we start receiving the energy that's coming to us. We receive the blessings from all the movement we've been doing. Yay! Okay. All right. Jesus said, who asked his father for bread and his father gives him a stone? Remember that one? Jesus said, ask for whatever you want and it'll be given to you. Knock, the door will open, seek you'll find, ask and it will be given unto you. The universe responds to those beautiful requests that we put out to it. So, asking for what we want is what we've been doing. Now asking for what we don't know we need is our next step. Used to be when I first started meditating and I was trying to transform, and it was very, very challenging for me. Gnashing of teeth, yes, I'm glad I still have some, because it was a very difficult time. And I am a whiner by nature, and so, as evidenced by affirming laughter. And so moving from a state of corporate to a state of, moving from a state of corporate to a state of spiritual work is very difficult to go from that one mindset into the state that I am God's daughter. Very difficult. And those moments where you are affirming and changing, what I had to do in my meditation was say every day, what is my next step? Because I don't know. Done everything I know to do. What is my next step? And I've shared with you before, what I was told in meditation for an entire year, the one answer I got for a year was breathe. And guess where I stayed for that year? In corporate. Because I was learning things. I was learning how to pray over work to make it easier. I was learning how to bless the work I was doing. I was learning how to work with intuition, you know? So when the boss comes in and says, oh, you got everything done. Yeah, I did. Everything that was needed to get, and everything that needed to be done was done. Wow, how do you know that? God tells me when it needs to get done. They used to have a joke that Cindy's angels are going to come in and take care of everything for us. Well, they messed everything up. But do you see? What is my next step? What is my next step? Okay. Right now, we are receiving energy at a level based on the changes that you're currently doing. Some of us wait for the big blessing rather than recognizing and receiving these little changes. Okay? So what we want to go to while we're looking at achieving these great goals that we have for ourselves is to move into what's called mindful living. Mindful living begins when we're awake to everything around ourselves. We're awake to the energy. We're awake to what's in motion. We set our intentions and our goals, and we focus on that, but we're awake to our everyday. We're open to the goodness in the moment. Okay? So, if my goal, this is not my goal, but maybe somebody's goal, to have a relationship, and maybe they don't have a relationship, and their goal is to have a relationship, and they're praying to God, and they're working on that, and they're meditating, they're working on the relationships, and they're working on relationships, and they don't have one, and they go into their daily life, they might be grumpy, they might be pouty or upset because they don't have one, and that colors everything, and the universe might be bringing them little gifts, and they might not see it because I don't have a relationship, and I'm unworthy, and doesn't somebody love me, and blah, blah, blah. Do you hear? As my example earlier, you might be whining. You might go to work and say, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. I want a different job. God, I need a different job. Oh my God, when am I going to get out of here? How is it going to happen? Instead of somebody bringing you a gift at work, maybe somebody being nice to you, maybe getting a big accomplishment. Do you see? Sometimes our greater dreams can become burdens to us receiving good in the moment. And think about the higher thing that you're aspiring to. Everybody's aspiring to something greater, yes? Think about that. What if every day you were aware of the fact that you're not there yet? Isn't that a burden? Yeah. I'm not there yet. And it becomes this thing that colors you and keeps you from the flow of the goodness that all your changes are doing for you. You're changing every day. Goodness is coming to you. You have to learn to receive it. Minor little story, it's one of my famous stories because it was so profound. I was in corporate, unhappy, nevertheless, still working, and I was saying, God, I just need to know you love me. I had no relationship, lonely, wanted to change jobs, move into spirit, lonely, whiny, as we affirmed, and I'm just, God, I need to know you love me. I need to know that you love me. That day, I was working at it wasn't an FBO, but it was a hangar where they were repairing a plane. That's where I worked in aviation, in the accounting end of it. And the guy, I was like 32, 3, baby, sweetheart. One of the men who was one of the rough mechanics, I mean, just sort of like a real gruff guy, he's probably in his 60s. At lunch, he came into my office, my desk, and he goes, here. And he handed me flowers. He goes, I have no idea why I'm giving those to you, but I'm giving them to you. I mean, he was a married guy, kids, and I said, oh my God, thank you so much. I know why you're giving them to me. God needed to talk to me. Thank you so much. You're a beautiful channel. That night, I went to church, and it was a Wednesday night. I was very involved in the Unity. And I went to church. I don't know if I was teaching or not, but this little girl who was 13 years old, 12, 13, came up to me and went, here. And she handed me flowers. I said, oh my God, thank you. And her mom said, we could not come to church without getting you flowers. She insisted on stopping. And I was like, oh, thank you, God. Well, I'm still lonely. I still don't have a relationship. I still don't have a good job. But do I know that God's loving me? Yes. That was one of the first times when I heard the beautiful voice within my own head say, shut up. And stop whining. You are on your path. Even if you cannot see where you're going, you're on your path. Bring in the goodness that's around you. We got you. We got you. And as I look back, I was ordained when I was 35. From 33 to 35 is 1 billion years in my journey. Looking back, it was a breath, but it was 1 billion years, you see? So, bringing in all of the goodness as we're making changes is really our job, and not to let our aspirations become burdens. We have to stay in the moment. Have your dream, receive the goodness in the moment. Okay. So, mindful living is about having our future goals, but our present goodness. Now, when stuff comes to you, you can always say, is this for me? Because good's going to start coming to you. Opportunities are going to start coming to you. So you have to say, oh, is this mine? Is this for my greatest good? And breathe it in and see, You know, because you don't want to fill in the vacuum you created by something that's familiar. Oh, I just gave away a bike. Oh, here's a bike. I didn't need the bike. I want to ask, that's not mine. Let me bring in what is mine. And you'll feel this beautiful energy coming because it'll start getting immense, the goodness coming to you. All right. You're a magnet for opportunity because you're creating space. And there's a variety that will come. The greater change, the greater space. Now, shifting two levels. When we begin to truly ask for God to show us what we need to move, we're now moving into an energy exchange that is something you cannot project. You do not know what's happening. I mean, it's bigger than the little things. It's big. So when you're asking, what is my next step, and you get a big next step, you're going to get big energy coming back to you. It's powerful. So we do not know what's going to come because you do not know all the universe has for you. You don't know all the universe has for you. So this beautiful energy of testing the waters and trusting, is it mine, and bringing it in. This helps you maintain the divine connection with God just by asking. It helps you maintain that connection in the moment. And this is how we lift up. We breathe in the goodness the universe has for us. And we're breathing it in while we are journeying, while we are on our journey to our dream. And we don't know exactly how that dream is going to look. If it's a big one. If it's we have our dreams, then we have the greater dreams. When we're actually calling forth all the good the universe has for us. When I talk about that, I feel like everybody can understand their dream. But when I tell you there is more good the universe has for you, you go, there's like this disconnect. Two levels down we drop. Go 2 levels back up. Do you realize that there is abundance for everyone? Say, I got it.
I got it.
Do you realize that every single thing that you have given in the universe has a return to it?
Yes.
Yes. Have you received all the good that you've given out yet?
No.
No. But do you have all the good you can hold right now?
Yes.
Yes. Because you have this energy you have to open up to. But when we open up and we say, all the good the universe has for me, I now receive in this moment, time and space, and I ask any block to be released from me. That's our morning prayer sometimes. We call forth all the good the universe has for us, that we have blocked in any other time and space. We bring it forward now, and I'm open to receive. And then you flow in this beautiful surprise support. It's a beautiful surprise support. Good is coming to me. Good cannot stop from coming to me if I open up the space to receive it. Sound good?
Real good.
Okay. So living mindfully is also about asking for what you need on the big level, asking for what you need on the little level. When Jesus said in the Lord's Prayer, give us this day our daily bread, do you know he wasn't talking about food? He was saying, bring to me what I need today. Give me what I need. He's telling you to say it. Say this. Bring to me my daily bread. Ask your Father to bring to you everything you need. Your clothing, your place, your creativity, your love, your joy, your expression, your challenges, your growth. Bring me my daily bread. You know? And when you pray that, you don't always know what your daily bread should look like, do you? No. That's all I want you to hear today. You're receiving now. Things are in motion. Energy's going out. Energy's coming back. You're moving on these goals that you've put for yourself, but there are greater goals if you let the greater good come in. That's all I'm saying. And just opening to that God awareness, that greater good can flow. And it's almost when spirit and matter become one. It's when spirit and matter become one. Okay, so Daily bread. I want to tell you just a couple little stories, and then we'll close. There's a reason. Hang with my stories. Okay? Long, long time ago, once upon a time, InterQuest was birthed by God. There's no doubt. I mean, I didn't wake up one day and say, I shall start a church. It was God, and it happened in events, steps. Most churches are started with either support by a founding church financially, or some with deep pockets, lots of money. Well, we weren't, and we didn't. So it was a very interesting journey of supply and support. It was very interesting. We were very, very small. We financially was hand to mouth. Thank God. God took care of everything. God took care of everything. We needed a place. My neighbor said, get the people out of your house because I'm going to call the police for all these cars coming in here. So we got a place. The rent started at maybe $200. Then after a few months it went to $400. And after it escalated while we could build. Is this a miracle? It was a miracle. So there was a moment in time, I think our rent was up to maybe $800 a month. We had 1,000 square feet. And we had no money. And we'd had a Sunday that was just very interesting. And it was at the point where, man, this is hurting. This is hurting. And I was doing it full time. Patrick and I both full time. So I sat on my bed after church, went to my bedroom, took the checkbook, put my hands on it, the church checkbook, put my hands on it, and I was crying. And not whining, crying. And I held it, and I said, God, I am a tither. We are a tithing church. I did not walk this path because of my desire. You asked me to. And I need to feel and know that we are going to be taken care of. And I was crying, and I was praying, please show, we need funds in this checkbook to make it. We need funds. And I was activating the tithe, partnering with God. We're partnering with you, God. I'm still sniffling, praying. The phone rings. I pick it up. It is a friend of mine who is churched at another church, and always has been, but a friend. And she said, Holy Spirit told me to call you right now. I said, okay. And she said, okay. And she said, I have been guided to tell you this for about a week, and didn't tell you. Or maybe she was guided, she had been thinking about it for maybe a day or so, I don't remember. And she said, I have been guided to give half of my tithe to InterQuest Church and half of my tithe to where I'm going. And I just needed to tell you that. And did I cry? Of course. Now, did that put money in the checkbook right then? No. We were still exactly where we were. Exactly where we were. But did I know we were going to be okay? I knew we were going to be okay. And she still faithfully ties to this church and does not come.
Wow.
And that has been 20 years.
Wow.
A portion of her tithe comes. And she is amazing. And the next day, I think someone gave us a refrigerator. I mean, it was what we could receive. What we could receive. Cindy was working on receiving. So you say to me, Cindy, why do you always give me old stories? Give me some new stories. New stories sound like this. Okay. So we're driving up and down, and I notice a tree has fallen on our fence over here on the edge of the property. A tree has fallen on our fence. And I said, Patrick, and he goes, yeah, there's a tree on the fence. And I said, we're going to have to take care of that. And he goes, yeah. I said, how do we take care of that? Do we have to hire somebody, call somebody? I don't know. Well, we'll take care of it when we have a minute. There's no tree on the fence. I don't know what happened. I do not know. But I'm just saying thank you. There's no tree on the fence. Do you see? We asked, we didn't know what to do, God took care of it. Via some lovely channel. We were buying crystals. And we go to the wholesale show, buy crystals for the shop, and then we sell them, and it's income for the church. And we were buying crystals, and we were shopping, and I saw this exquisite fountain. Oh my God, took my breath away. Had beautiful birds on it, made of rose quartz and lapis, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. This belongs in $1 million home. The cost on the fountain wholesale was $4,000. And I went, oh, that's so gorgeous. Well, let me just figure. Well, we're gonna buy some crystals, so we're doing our shopping around. We were there for several days, and the last day of the show, we had to get one particular type of crystal that happened to be in the same the same showroom as the crystal fountain. So Patrick is selecting the crystals that we need for our store, for the bookstore, and there's that beautiful fountain, and I'm just gazing upon it. And I hear a lady walk by, and she goes, so how much is that fountain? And the lady in the bullpen said, oh, it's $1,000, and we will deliver it to you for $100. And I said, excuse me? What did you say? She said, it's $1,000. I said, why is it $1,000? Oh, it broke, the top of it's broken. I said, I'll take it for $1,000. And then I looked at Patrick and said, oh my God, did I just say that? And they delivered it for $100. And the guys happened to be here that day to haul that thing in. And that is the beautiful fountain that you see at the front door. Do you see the difference between the old story and the new stories? I was in need, as I asked, to be in the flow. I was in need. Now we just ask, and we're in the flow. Do you see the difference? And how many of us don't ask till we're in need? I mean, I was in need. I could be activating that tithe and talking to God every single day, holding that AmQuest checkbook. I could have been doing that. I didn't. When I was in need, I did. And I activated it. Do you see? So both are good stories, aren't they?
Yes.
Need stories and flow stories. And we have a gazillion stories in between. Ask for what you want. Ask for what you desire, and ask for the greater good that you have no knowledge of. Do you see? All right, we're closing this month. We're closing this walk that we've been on, but we need to really stay awake. So let me give you mindful living once again. Be awake to everything around you. If somebody brings you flowers, say thank you. Okay? Live with your future goals in the present goodness. Don't let your future goals become a burden. Ask for the little things you need as well as the big things you need. And stay in motion. If we change one thing a week, we will be good. And then receive. Receive what comes to you. Thank you. I bring that into my body. Thank you. Bringing it in. Thank you. And if it's not mine, this is somebody else's. Pass it through. Because so much is going to come at you when you start moving. So much. You don't want to fill the whole space all at one time. Maybe it's not all yours. But be mindful of the energy. All right, I think we've done really well in our grasping. I've done great. I've been changing, I've been paying attention, I've been focusing, and you guys know I talk to God all the time anyway, but it made it even better to know that I can call forth for myself all the good the universe has for me. Makes it better. And I'll share it with y'all when it comes. Okay. All right, let's go within. Breathe. Feel that beautiful love of God. And I want you to become aware of just this light raining over us. A beautiful blessing of love showering everyone in this room. Father, Mother God, we are so open to receive all of the good the universe has for us. And it doesn't have to be hard. We breathe in the ease of the love of the universe as it showers around us. And I want you to breathe it in. Take it into the depth of your heart, the depth of your soul. And know that you are supported by a beautiful sustenance of God love. From the smallest to the greatest. And now let your focus just come to your own heart. And just say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, that there is greater good for me. That all I have to do is receive. Help me walk awake, conscious, mindful. And feel the love. And we love you, God, so much. Feel that beautiful word. Give us this day our daily bread. Feel the presence of Jesus Christ. Give us this day our daily bread, God. And we thank you. And so it is. And just bring your awareness back into your body and gently open your eyes. How y'all feel? Good. Ready to receive?
Yes.
Say yay, God.
Yay, God.